Florida has some of the country's best natural areas for wildlife viewing. In particular, birders will find many of the Sunshine State's parks and refuges to be incredible places to visit. While in Florida, we went to one that we had heard a lot about and felt we needed to experience for ourselves, Wakodahatchee Wetlands. Wakodahatchee Wetlands is located in Delray Beach, Florida, and consists of 50 acres of habitat. What makes these wetlands special is the ease of viewing birds and other wildlife, in large part due to the boardwalk that takes people right over the water and right next to the birds. Immediately, we were blown away by what we were seeing. This is absolutely ridiculous. There are wood storks right off the path. And a lot of wood storks right off the path. You're just instantly in a swamp when you go on this boardwalk, and there's just birds all over.
This is insane, man. We're in an area with tons of wood storks. We're like in the middle of it. We're amongst the wood storks.
Wood storks can be identified by their bald, scaly head, white body, and black flight feathers. They can be found year-round in many parts of South America, Central America, and much of Florida. During the winter months, they can be found along the coasts of Mexico, in Southern California, and in some parts of the southeastern U.S. Wood storks can be found in both brackish and freshwater wetlands, with relatively low water for them to forage in. While foraging, these birds will walk through the water, stirring up the substrate and consuming fish, aquatic invertebrates, seeds, and even small reptiles, amphibians, and really anything else they can swallow whole. Wood storks nest in groups, and choose a place to nest that is above water. They build their nests out of sticks, and will line the nest with vegetation. Overall, these storks are not a species of major conservation concern, with a global breeding population of around 450,000. The impressive amounts of wood storks weren't simply there by happenstance, but because they nest in these wetlands, meaning we got to see the storks actively working on building their nests. Of all the birds here, the most obvious and notable are probably the wood storks. And you can even probably see behind me that they are absolutely dotting the trees right now. A lot of these birds here are actually nest building, so this appears to be a rookery where they will raise their young right off the boardwalk. A really spectacular thing to see for all of the people that come here. They're so close that you can almost touch them in a lot of these places.
So one really fascinating thing to see is the wood storks are looking for sticks in the water. So they're actually feeling around. When they find one, they try to grab it with their beak, and they've actually been kind of fighting for it too. So I'm assuming they're taking back to these nests that they're in the process of building really close to the boardwalk.
Mixed in with the storks were many other bird species as well, including white ibises, which were also present in extremely high numbers, double-crested cormorants, and anhingas. While we could have stayed and watched these birds at close range all day, we wanted to see what else the wetlands had to offer, and started traversing the boardwalk. We spotted pied-billed grebes, common gallinules, and an interesting non-native species that has made itself at home in Florida.
So right behind me, we have one of our pre-trip target species, the gray-headed swamp hen, and it is annihilating this vegetation. It's just grabbing it with its huge feet and ripping pieces off, so you can tell how they're kind of taking over this area.
A lot of different species here, all at pretty close range. The gray-headed swamp hens are showing nicely, even though they don't actually belong here. Some common gallinules, tons of wading birds, so really neat area. Very good views of everything. The boardwalk is quite convenient to just go through the swamp. We went a little ways down on the boardwalk, but it seemed like every few feet there were new birds to see.
You could certainly spend all day here.
Oh yeah, for sure. I've not gone very far on the boardwalk and I'm getting distracted by everything. It's the quintessential swamp experience and the wildlife is just all over the place. The whistling ducks are going crazy. There's swamp hens, stuff's flying overhead. I need a good 6 more hours here. While the birds were our primary focus, we also noticed one of the non-avian animals commonly seen in Florida. Of course, one of the signature species of Florida is the alligator, and we finally have one on this boardwalk, or I should say off of the boardwalk, but we can see it from here. It looks pretty big. We've been told that there's an even bigger one a little bit up this way, so we're gonna check that out and get some videos and pictures of that if it's still around. He's called Big George, that's what they're calling him. We continued on the boardwalk, finding many different wading birds, as well as a purple gallinule. We did end up finding the huge alligator we were told about as well. I think we just found Big George. He is on the bank over there and looks like just a big mound of soil or rocks. And that's how the alligators do it. There have been 2 times so far when I thought that an alligator was just some sort of substrate, pile of mud, pile of rocks, and that's a little worrying.
In addition to the alligators, we also saw many non-native iguanas that have exploded in numbers in southern Florida.
Wakodahatchee.
Wakodahatchee, iguanas, birds, and so much more.
With the sun starting to set, we made our way back to the beginning of the boardwalk. But as we did, a stunning amount of birds came in.
All of these white ibises and wood storks came in to roost, so now this area is even thicker with birds than it was before.
We took some time to watch the incredible flurry of bird activity and listen to the chaotic noises they made. The perfect ending to a great time at Wakodahatchee Wetlands.
I'm experiencing the same problem that I've had a lot in Florida, which is there's so much to take pictures, videos of, and just look at and take in that it's impossible to capture everything. So you're just in this area where you see birds closer than you've ever seen them before, and you want to make the most of it, but you don't quite know how. And it's a great thing to have happen, but it also just leaves you with this feeling of, what can I do to maximize this experience? I think this is an incredible place. If anybody has the chance to come here, I would say 100% do it.
Our time at Wakodahatchee Wetlands was absolutely surreal, as the closeness of many of the wild birds is something you can usually only get in an aviary at the zoo. We would certainly recommend these wetlands to birders, photographers, or people who simply love nature and want a unique experience. If you liked this video, take a look at one of our other videos about birding in Florida. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Badgerland Birding.